Hello, I'm Carrie and I'm baRnby's. I'm a bespoke caterer and I specialise in making posh picnics, fresh hampers and 5 to 7 course bistro meals which I make at home and then deliver within a 10-mile radius of Blyth. And today I'm going to show you how to make ciabatta. It's a particular favourite of mine. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a bread that I like and I find easy to make. I make it on my travels when I've been holed up in the mountains in Spain, and if it works well up there with a dodgy oven and no way of measuring anything, I figure that it could work anywhere. Like many people, I've had to change the way that I do things because of COVID, and so now I take my bistro meals to my guests rather than them come to me. And I thought it'd be a nice touch to start including the ciabatta bread, and it's safe to say that it's gone down really well. So to celebrate the launch of my new website and my first blog, I thought that I would show you how to make the ciabatta bread. So for me, ciabatta is the easiest bread in the world to make. It takes a long time, but it's very forgiving. So the ingredients are: you need 500 grams of strong white flour, 10 grams of salt and 5 grams of dried yeast. Now I'm not too precious over how I measure it, so if it's a bit over or a bit under, it's entirely up to you. So what you will need to do is put your 500 grams of flour in a bowl, a couple of teaspoons of salt and a teaspoon of dried yeast, and just mix it through just gently. You then need to add to it 400 grams of tepid water and basically mix it all together. I tend to use a silicone mixer, which is what I prefer, but you could just use your hands or a spoon, and mix it until it all comes together. You then need to transfer your dough into another bowl. You need to just put a drizzle of olive oil in the bottom of the bowl, probably about 20 grams or a couple of glugs, and tip the dough into it. Cover it over with cling film and leave it for an hour. You leave it for an hour and then go back to your dough and take the lid or the cling film off and gently just work your hands around the edge to just bring it away from the side of the bowl. And then you are going to do a particular folding technique, and basically you're folding it a bit like a piece of paper, and then all you do is flip the bread over, cover it back up, and you leave it for another hour. After your hour, you repeat the same folding process, cover it over and leave it again. And you do this 4 times, so you've left it for 4 hours, and then you have another hour at the end to let it do its thing. You then need to tip it out onto a work surface and shape it in whichever way you want to. Cut it with either a sharp knife or a dough cutter that you can buy from many places. And for ciabatta, the name ciabatta actually means slipper, so you will sort of make a slipper shape, so a long thin shape, and just lift it up and put it on top of a floured baking tray, and just let it rest for 5 or 10 minutes after you've to sort of just leave it there. Whilst it's resting, you want to preheat your oven to 230 degrees Celsius, and then really cook it for about, I cook it for 20 minutes because probably I like a bit more of a crusty top to it. So I cook it for 20 minutes. The baking trays that I use are hard ionised ones, and they won't buckle when you put them in the oven. But up in the mountains of Spain, I didn't have such luxury, just whatever they had got there, but preferably something that will withstand some heat. And then bring it out and place it on a wire rack to cool, if you can let it cool without tucking into it.